to go ahead and take a live look over the White House. As the federal government is back open, 6 House Democrats crossed party lines to help pass the Senate-backed plan, sending it to the president's desk. Now, federal agencies are working to resume normal operations. Natalie Brandt has the latest.
Shutdown-related air travel impacts aren't over quite yet. Airline sources tell CBS News it could take 24 to 48 hours to ramp back up to full service once the FAA lifts its flight reduction at 40 major airports. Still, travelers are breathing a sigh of relief that the weeks-long shutdown is finally over.
It's good that they're back to work. Hopefully things get done.
With everything going back now, so just seeing how things flush out. So we hope all goes well.
More than 670,000 furloughed federal employees are returning to work. 730,000 others worked without pay.
The members that I represent, they are ecstatic. They are happy that the government is open. They can now get back to life. They can get back to business. They can make sure that there's food on the table.
The tens of millions of Americans who rely on federal food assistance should see their full SNAP benefits soon. A USDA spokesperson told CBS News recipients in most states will get their benefits within 24 hours.
That clock started with President Trump's signature on the funding measure late last night, but there's still a fight over Democrats' health care demands, which were not part of the bill.
The Affordable Care Act tax credits expire on December 31st. We have to continue to press our case to compel Republicans to deal with this.
President Trump Wednesday night said he would be willing to work with the other side on health care, but took aim at the Affordable Care Act.
All includes fixing the health care system that Democrats broke with the disaster known as Obamacare. Obamacare was a disaster from day one.
The Senate deal to end the shutdown included the promise of a vote on health care in early December.
Even though the shutdown is over, the travel troubles aren't over in Atlanta yet. We're taking a live look over Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport right now. Things look pretty quiet there, where at least 85 flights have been canceled today. So far, over 40 Endeavor Airlines flights have been canceled, alongside about a dozen Delta flights. Now, even with those cancelled,
running federal shutdown in U.S. history is now over. The longest running federal shutdown in U.S. history is now over, ended with a bill that will fund the government for the next 3 months. Still, workers who haven't gotten a paycheck in weeks will have to wait for back pay. As Alice Barr explains, questions remain over how long it's going to take for things to get back to normal.
Hi there. Airlines are warning they need time to adjust their schedules, with industry representatives estimating it'll take about a week to get back to normal in the skies, while a USDA spokesperson said most states would get the funds they need to reload SNAP food benefits within 24 hours of the shutdown ending. With a vote in the House,
the bill is passed,
and a presidential signature overnight, the longest government shutdown in U.S. history is now over.
The federal government will now resume normal operations.
Furloughed federal workers getting back on the job today after 43 days. They and those who worked without pay waiting to hear when their back pay checks will arrive. As airlines work to return to full capacity, the FAA freezing flight reductions at 6% instead of the planned 10% by Friday, with easing staffing shortages set to gradually unsnarl weeks of delays and cancellations.
I think it's horrible how politicians, all of them, use us as pawns.
SNAP federal food assistance will also grind back into gear for the millions of Americans still waiting for their full November payments, turning to food banks instead.
Massive increases in families needing our assistance.
As the consequences unwind, the two parties pointing blame at each other.
Absolutely no question in anybody's mind now that the Democrats were responsible for this.
Donald Trump and Republicans made the decision to shut the government down. Would rather do that than provide health care that's affordable.
As Democrats face their own divisions over the deal moderates in the Senate reached with Republicans that did not include health care reforms, an issue Republicans say they're now ready to address with the government back in business. The Senate's top Republican promised a vote on extending the Affordable Care Act tax credits Democrats had been holding out for, but Republicans largely oppose. President Trump again floated the idea of giving money directly to Americans instead, though there are no details on how that would work, and the clock is ticking until government funding expires again at the end of January. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Shalom, shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto YAHAWAH, Hashem, YAHAWASHI, Hashem, Rakwakwadah. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the mighty Akim, Wathim, who are diligently waiting to be delivered from this final captivity. This is Brother Kawakab coming at you with another lesson. Today's lesson, I really want to get into this because the thing about this is what I've heard so many times from these politicians, not politicians, these political channels, that's what I meant to say, political channels, is how DJT absolutely despises Obama. He hates him, he's jealous of him, he wants to be viewed as a better Obama, stuff like that. He has this freaking complex with that Hamite or whatever the fuck Obama is, I don't know what he is, and he has that complex with him where Obama made Obamacare or did whatever bullshit that he did, and then DJT is trying to freaking make it so like I want people to talk about me the same way that they talk about Obama. I want people to freaking praise me for being such a great leader. They said like people sucking how there's people that was talking like Edomites more specifically that were saying, oh man, I wish Obama was president for a third term. I would have voted for him a third term. I would have done this, would have done that, whatever, and stuff like that. Where people, there's a lot of people who talk bad about him. But I believe I don't necessarily have a personal opinion on him because in general, when you are an Israelite, politics does not matter at the end of the day because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what we do or how much we vote or whatever. Our contribution or our participation does not influence who will be the president or what changes will actually be implemented. As one example that I always go to is the Hillary Clinton versus Donald Trump election, which was Donald Trump's first term, the time that he won his first term, all right, where for him, or sorry, for that election, Hillary literally lost in the first second. Like that's basically what I'm saying. She lost in the very first second, even though she had more votes for her. She won the popular vote. You can actually Google this, by the way. Definitely go Google it. She won the popular vote, meaning that more of the American population actually went out and voted for her specifically as individuals. But overall, I said Esau, DJT won the election because the election is not run by how many votes you get. It's run by the electoral college, which basically means that there are other people that are representing and choose to vote rather than the actual people. So yet they still have people say everyone go and vote and whatnot, when in actuality your vote, as we've seen in the Hillary versus DJT election, Hillary lost even though she had more people voting for her. All right, so as a result of that, that was something that I wanted to bring up because this is very how do you say, this is very typical, I guess. And I think one of the things I heard that these political channels say often is how DJT has such an ego when in actuality it's like, well, he also said that smart people hate him. So he was even also openly insulting his supporters by calling his supporters dumb for voting for him. Okay, so on top of that, you also have the generality of people, not people, but DJT wanting the affection of the people, all right? But he's not getting it because, as a matter of fact, funnily enough, people hate him. as a matter of fact, like a lot of people have been, making TikToks saying, "Oh, I didn't know that this was gonna happen. If I had known he was gonna do this, I wouldn't have voted for him. I regret voting for DJT. I should have voted for Kamala. You guys were right, X, Y, and Z, blah, blah, blah," and stuff like that. Where again, like this is the stuff that's going on where we're watching, of course, and we see how the contributions don't mean anything, yet you have a lot of Jakes saying, "Oh, we have to go vote, we have to go do this, that, and the third one." That's never worked. That has never worked, but yet you have, because that was a video that I did. I still remember that video that I did. I don't know how many years ago, where there's one old dumb fuck hag. All right, she was basically saying all this shit. How we copy what we're doing, even though the stuff that we're doing does not work. It doesn't work, but still follow us, keep on doing this, and then you figure it out, but you keep on doing what we're doing, because we are the example, but at the same time we're not the example, because you guys need to figure it out. That's basically this is not an exaggeration, this is literally what she was saying, but yet you had a whole bunch of dick writers in the comments that were saying that dumb bitch was actually smart. But oh well, I guess I don't care. But continuing on, let me actually get into these precepts. Slakia, that's one of the things I hate about politics when it comes to this whole political thing. You have a bunch of Jakes that are honestly just dumb. They don't actually think. They are incapable of thinking. And when you have these Jakes that say, that ironically act as a monolith. Ironically, by the way, they are some of the dumbest people around. But then the Jakes that don't act like a monolith, they're also dumb as well. But they're dumb for different reasons. Like that's the thing where you have these two separate subsections of idiots who come to terrible conclusions. All right, but continuing on. Proverbs 26 verse 25, when he speaketh fair, believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart. And that's actually the thing where when it comes to the whole government shutdown thing, the thing about that was they are basically creating issues. And I wish I remembered the video. I could attempt to find it. That's definitely not what I wanted to do. Oh, you can't see it? Okay, cool. Now, the thing about him was he had gotten so proud. He basically said some stuff where he wanted to be viewed as, oh yeah, Slocky, that was the thing. It was he was the one in early 2025 that was already trying to take away food assistance from people. Like that was from him. That was something that had already started, but yet you had a bunch of these poor Republicans, all right, that did not, hold on, let me see. So there was a bunch of poor Republicans that were unknowingly screwing themselves over. Where the hell is the damn video? But anyway, I guess I'll look for it and then I might bring it later. But the thing is that, a lot of these people that are the poor Republicans, they are, they're fine with screwing themselves over because they think, because I forgot who said it, but it was an Edomite that said, if you convince a poor white man that he's better than someone else, then he will empty his pockets for you and freely let you rob him. And that's basically what Esau does. Esau allows himself to be robbed simply because he thinks, okay, well, as long as the so-called blacks are getting robbed as well, okay, I'll sacrifice it. But then when things get too bad, then, okay, like I didn't know that this was gonna happen. All right, I don't want this anymore. All right, so that's where you have that. But the thing is, DJT has also been saying, Slack, I keep on getting sidetracked, but DJT has also been saying how, oh, he wants to do something, he wants to be seen as or viewed as some sort of great person. So as a result of that, he's bringing back the government shutdown, and then a lot of people are not going to really understand or even look into why was the government shut down in the first place, who is at fault for these food banks, the SNAP benefits being lost, all this stuff being taken away, which apparently it was DJT who was doing it. So he's over here orchestrating issues that will happen down the line, and then fixing it, quote unquote, fixing it, and then he's going to introduce something that says, hey, you guys, I have this new system, and it's going to help you guys out, whatnot, X, Y, and Z, which, Yahawadah, it's going to be the MOTB. All right, so Sirach 14 verse 7, Slakia. And if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly, and at the last he will declare his wickedness. Basically, when he's doing good, when they're doing, oh yeah, we stopped the government shutdown, then you're gonna see soon after you fell into the trap, this is what was actually the plan. All right. Next, Ezekiel chapter 3:27. Slakia. Let me actually make sure that this is actually it. I don't think this is it. I think it's 28. Yes, it is 28. Ezekiel 28 verse 2. Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith the Lord YAHAWAH, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God, I sit in the seat of YAHAWAH, in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man, and not YAHAWAH. Though thou set thine heart as the heart of YAHAWAH, behold, thou art, hold on, let me just jump to the point. Verse 6, therefore thus saith the Lord YAHAWAH, because thou hast set thine heart as the heart of YAHAWAH, behold, therefore I will bring strangers upon thee, the terrible of the nations, and they shall draw their swords against the beauty of thy wisdom, and they shall defile thy brightness. They shall bring thee down to the pit, and thou shalt die the deaths of them that are slain in the midst of the seas. Basically, what the Lord is going to do, he's going to humble these people for being so arrogant and so proud and thinking that they are at the level of YAHAWAH. Okay, so basically, destruction is waiting for them for said pride. Psalms 64 verse 5. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commute of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? And again, at the end of the day, just end it off here. Revelation chapter 13 verse 17, that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. And basically, the thing here, the lesson here is how you are able to see that, okay, a lot of people 40 million people rely on SNAP or EBT or some sort of government assistance crap. And then as a result of that, because everyone is going to go crazy if they don't have their stuff, their assistance, their help, whatever, then they've gotten to a point where they're so desperate that they will literally accept anything that the government gives them. So hence the reason why we're going to be transitioning soon, Yahawadah, into the whole beast system. All right. So with that, I pray this lesson was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Hashem, YAHAWASHI, Hashem, Double honors to the elders and apostles, great most, and above all, and shalom.